boys, check every inch of the web to find the latest episodes. The boys are everywhere, and no matter what anyone may try, they are here to stay. If the name hasn't warned you yet, then consider this as your viewer discretion advised. No one can restrain these two idiots, so here they come unleashed upon the world, only to become as insane as reality itself.
Bust out the anal probe! We're going for some brains!
Wait, I had to do that there. I was doing a Lex there on the picture on the thing. He's like this.
Yeah, he's trying to look all sophisticated. And
you know, and Brian's like that in the background.
I know a couple times we've had him on, I wanted to take Alexis' finger, Photoshop it to where it's poking Brian in the ear.
Can you do that? Let's do that one day.
It does not take. It would not take much. It would not take much.
Well, we'll get a message for. We might get a message for Brian.
No.
No, we love you, Brian. We really do.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight Dakota has got a very, very, very painful back. I bet you were going to think I was going to say something else there, but. Why don't you tell everybody how you got the very, very painful back?
I'm getting old.
Yeah, he's getting old, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm almost 30. My God.
I know.
Okay, before I get a bunch of old people starting to say, "Oh, you're not that old. You shut up." You got to realize I'm also 6'7" and over 400 pounds.
Yes. Just think about it in this sense, ladies. If any of you ladies out there are single, looking for a good man like this, he's nice and tall. He's good for doing the old painting and decorating.
Speaking of which, I would like to sue some women on TikTok.
Why?
They're all doing that song. I'm suing for false advertisement. They're all doing that song. Oh, I need a big boy. I need a big boy. And they're like, I'm right here.
Terrible.
Bunch of lying bitches. I want to sue for false advertising.
Let's face it, TikTok's full of absolutely utter shit. There is a few things on there that you can say that you can't get away with on YouTube. Let's face it. Right?
Yeah, TikTok is also particularly bad about letting their own content moderators do what they want. So if they just don't like a certain individual, they will purposely flag that account to where it does not go out. You will get shadow banned just because you offend somebody or the content moderators just doesn't like you. They fully admitted that if you get your account banned on multiple occasions, that means somebody is purposely shutting you down.
Yeah, I don't care. Come and shut me down if they want. I'll just start another one.
That's what most people do. But still.
There's actually a few people I follow on there, quite a few famous people that I follow on there, and a lot of them have been shadow banned. A few times.
It's almost a rite of passage when it comes to TikTok.
Yeah, I knew somebody I knew a famous person in particular, and they were banned. They had 150,000 followers, and they were banned like that because they said one thing wrong.
Yeah. It also explains why quite a few people we know get banned at the slightest of thing. I'm just like, just wait. They're going to get you. They're going to get you.
Oh, I know. With my TikTok account, I don't really do nothing. I do like maybe a one video a fortnight. You came up like I can't be asked for stuff like that. You know? But listen, that TikTok video that I put out there that you actually made, and ladies and gentlemen, if you ever watch it, it's him that made it. But I actually made it. He did the voiceover. Very good, by the way. Do you know how many people I have tricked with that?
Okay, yeah. See, you just fully admitted that you falsified that information.
Well, I didn't falsify that information.
Yeah, you did. You said it was an audio tape found of JFK. And no, that was not me doing the voiceover.
I put in the description. I put in the description, if you read the description at the very bottom, that it was made. Well, I think I did anyway.
Is it now? No, you didn't.
No, maybe I didn't. But come on, you got to admit. But that is a real speech, though. That speech is real.
That speech was allegedly found on some note cards in the safety deposit box, believed to be Kennedy's basically Kennedy getting ready to blow the whistle on aliens.
But here's the thing that I say about TikTok, right? Is the account that I've got, it's got nearly 3,000 followers, right? I don't particularly care if it does get banned. You know what I mean? Because TikTok's, what can I say with TikTok? There is enough of fake stuff on there. See the amount of fake UFOs stuff that's on there. I mean, really fake UFOs. So you can clearly see it's been made using graphics and stuff like that. And folk fall for it.
What the fuck was that?
A glitch in the Matrix.
No, you heard that?
Well, that was just Majestic 12 signing into our communications array.
Aye,
You're watching
those
Majestic
bastards.
12. If you're watching this Majestic 12, I hope you enjoy the show tonight, and hopefully one day you will be found out, and everything will be shared with the world.
Dude, what is up with your mic?
What do you mean?
It sounded like somebody was covering your mic.
No, it's absolutely
Just
fine.
the way your voice was coming through, man. I'm dead serious.
What am I coming through like now?
No, it came clear just as bad now that I called it out.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens with Majestic 12. Do you know that actually, and you're going to find this interesting, Dave Schrader on Darkness Radio years ago did a Majestic 12 video, and it went kind of wonky when he was doing it.
It does not surprise me. And,
Coast to
I'll
Coast
be honest.
EMC.
I'll be honest. Coast to Coast had a lot of weird shit happen because of just even referencing the Majestic 12 situation, which is honestly why it's something I've wanted to go into for a little bit now, because if you go onto the FBI website where the FBI vault, they have the word bogus written across several of the pages of those documents.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if it was BS, why is there all sorts of weird shit going down?
Aye. Exactly. They want you to think that because they know that Majestic 12 is real, and they know that they're running things, and they still are to this very day.
Well, the short version
maybe
of
they're
it
under
is,
a different name.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They may not be directly called Majestic, because a lot of the same people who brought the documents forward have admitted. There's going to be a few disclaimers that I want to say here, folks. But the people that have come forward that had the Majestic 12 documents initially, that brought them into the limelight, admitted to being involved in disinformation campaigns.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's a few things you got to remember. So automatically there's going to be some assholes that have nothing better to do with their lives to try to shut down what we're saying just by that statement alone. But here's the thing. Think about how many conspiracies within the last couple of years have come forward as being true.
Exactly.
Just because something does not make sense does not mean it's truthful. More often than not, the truth doesn't make sense at all.
Look, there's been conspiracy theorists. Look, I'm going to name a few of them, but I'm not going to name the big ones, right? The ones that are happening that have happened. You know the ones I'm talking about. Folk used to say these folk were mad. Oh, chemtrails. They're spraying the atmosphere with aluminum particles. Yes, I'm using the word aluminum because I just can't be asked argument. I know it's aluminium, but we'll just call it aluminum now. And they would say, oh, they're spraying the atmosphere. They're spraying that. Made an absolute arse of them. That's everybody makes an arse of them. They've come out and said it. We've been doing it for years. We've been spraying the atmosphere with aluminum and other unknown chemicals. So out there now, look it up. They're all doing it. It's mixed in with the jet fuel. It's in there. It's getting sprayed. Other things that I'm not going to mention, like in the
you just said you weren't going to mention,
right? And they came up
you
with
said
things
you weren't going to.
I'm not mentioning that.
What's your second point that you say you're not going to mention that you're inevitably going to mention because you can't keep your trap shut?
I know, but I'm not going to mention it. I'm holding my tongue. Look, there is a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, right? there is a lot. What?
He said he's going to hold his tongue. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not Christopher. We have been in...
I'm actually from the Eggeroth system. Christopher's on holiday right now. I'm a body double, but I'm trying to play him as best I can. You've no idea. I had to learn for weeks. This guy is fucking terrible. I'll tell you that right now.
Sure, buddy. Whatever you say.
But anyway, look. The point we're trying to get is, anybody that says anything are classed as a conspiracy theorist, right? Then it happens, it comes true, and everybody's like, "Oh, that guy was right, or that woman was right." Right? I mean, I've got my theories. I was reading about this last night, which is weird because I can't remember exactly what I was reading when it was. Something clicked. Something clicked when I was reading something last night, and I've totally forgot what it was. And it's a weird thing that even Dakota started, when he started, what'd you call it, looking into Majestic 12, he started having all his back problems and stuff, which is strange. It's as if I've been wiped and he's been getting a sore back. But it's,
but again,
I'm going to say this now. I do think they had involvement in President Kennedy's death. And if you want to come and get me, I live in the moon. You'd be easier coming to
Lanarkshire,
Dakota. You want to come and take away Dakota here? He's easier. He's in America.
We already know that you've been tapping into his video feeds and Xbox to watch for his location. We already know this.
Yeah. Yes, bloody weird that. The bloody things I was turning it selling. Bloody annoying. I've disconnected the Connect. Hopefully it'll no debt anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have an older piece of junk.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, I can't afford the new Xbox Series.
What the fuck? Okay. Chris has completely dropped out. What in the fuck? Okay, I was just joking about him being spied on during... Chris, come back! Get back here, you fucker! I'm checking my phone right now just in case he tries to message me through there in the event that he's been totally blocked, but... Oh, there he is. There he is. Let's bring him back. What the hell happened?
What happened there?
What the fuck was... That was not me!
I can't afford it.
No, we got to talking about you being...
Something went wrong. It says... Something went wrong, please.
Okay, I was just being a smartass when I said that.
It says something went wrong. Please ensure you are connected to the internet. If you are, this may be our end. No, let us know. We are very sorry.
You know, your connection could have just bumped.
I'm wired. Ethernet.
It'll still bump if it's on Ethernet.
It's never done that before. Ever. Brand new.
Well, we've also been seeing a hell of a lot more technical issues. Which, speaking of which, I'm also going to say this. Since we, started saying, this isn't really a topic that we haven't got into.
This is because
we discuss. No, we're just, you know what? Just because they pulled that shit, we're going in. I'm coming out and saying it. There have been black SUVs been following me.
Yeah.
And they've been, and mind you, I work nights, so it does not take much to completely overtake and make it to where I can't pick up any license plates. God. None of that shit. The other day, Chris can back me up on this because I sent him a message saying that something's going on. The cell phone signals were going completely out. There was several outages taking place, so it could have just been a weird network fluke. We've also been discussing through certain sources that certain events that have transpired in the last couple months may have been the result of hacks within cell phone networks. And you got to remember, Over here in the United States, Verizon is the biggest contractor when it comes to the government profiles.
Look, I'm going to say this about this. Those what happened in the US, the 4 of them, the 5 of them, to be exactly the 4. The first train crash, then the second train crash, then the third train crash, then the lorry that turned on the side and spewed chemicals everywhere. I'm going to say something to it. I'm going to call bullshit on all of them.
You gotta hear one of the latest bits that they're trying to put out.
No. But what I'm going to say is right. That was not an accident. That was not an accident. See that town? See you ever see that series that was on Netflix before they cut my transmission again? That's for you lot that say doing this stuff. See the town. See the town where they filmed the thing for Netflix. That's where the train crashed.
Yeah.
That's where the train crashed. The exact same thing.
Yeah, it's
sometimes they show
Adam
things
Driver
before they do it. They show things on TV before they do it.
Here's the thing. You also got to realize there's some very strange elements to this, and we can go into psychic phenomenon in every little bit of it. And yes, this does tie back into Majestic, so give us a second. Yeah. Chris isn't going totally off the rails. That was just a bad... probably a bad choice of words, but nevertheless. How do we know that certain creators, and it's been speculated that this is happening, received some sort of messages from a psychic level, not realizing what they were seeing? Like, oh, that would make an awesome movie.
So you're talking kind of like doing the rounds of The Simpsons, where they've kind of predicted quite a lot of things.
The official explanation from the Simpsons writing crew is that they just happen to have a team filled with very smart people.
Nah, okay. See, I believe the people that's in control of this world like to tell things before it happens, right? I've got a feeling they love to do this kind of stuff. Just look at what's happened with CERN and how they did their wee dances at CERN and how they do all these things, these programs come out and then the exact same thing happens. No. Look, the people that are running this world are very evil.
Here, you also got to realize... Every major media corporation, several major news outlets, several banks, pharmaceutical companies, right? There is one major shareholder that controls them all.
Yeah.
If you look far enough. So yes, corporate entities taking control of the public information is not out of the question. It happens every day, especially when it comes to something like Majestic 12. Now, exactly. I will say this: when I first learned that Majestic 12 was actually a thing, it caught me by surprise because I used to play a little video game. I have the newer remaster versions of it on Xbox. Destroy All Humans, and the main bad guys. Now, mind you, this is a game where you play an alien that uses anal probes that literally pumps a person's brain so large that it blows out of their skull.
Don't give them any ideas, Dakota.
But I will say, Majestic is the name of a secret government organization that essentially takes control of the other branches in order to help combat an alien threat. So naturally, that blew my mind when I saw that. And it's like, what?
I think they're not there to combat an alien threat. They're there to stop the good aliens for helping us. That's what they're there for, right? If President Kennedy hadn't died, we'd probably be in a lot better position than we are right now, right?
Well,
okay. I'm going to say it again. Cheerio, everybody! They definitely had something to do with.
Okay, that one was me, just to be funny. I promise. The first one, you could tell in the inflection in my voice that was I did not do that. And if I did,
I didn't like that weird scale. I've never seen that before.
Well, I've seen that a couple times, but that's just been because I have bad internet where I'm at, but. Honestly, when you just look at the Kennedy situation, you're only looking at a very small portion. You're looking at towards the tail end that started raising some questions for people. Because granted, The official explanation for the Kennedy assassination, the way the bullet magically seemed to bounce around. I'm sorry, bullets don't fly that way. Bullets don't fly that way.
I mean, I must admit that guy that taken that shot, my God, that was the ultimate bullet. Do you know top snipers that are in the military have tried to redo that, and they can't do it?
Yet, all of them say that exact how that played out, how everybody started flying, could have been done a hell of a lot easier from the grassy knoll. Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
I don't think he should have been in that car either. He should have been in his normal armored car.
Well, that was an armored car.
Aye, but the one with the roof and the bulletproof glass windows.
That didn't really come into play until after Kennedy's
No.
assassination.
He had a different one that he used. But
Here's the thing: Kennedy wanted to be for the people. That was the thing with him. He was very friendly. I mean, look what happened to Marilyn Monroe.
Exactly. And again, this has no got anything to do with Majestic 12. It's like you said in that message to me the other night there, that all these weird UFO sightings, which I think is fake. Which is strange that it was that senator on you go.
I will say, we need to reel it back because we are starting to get off the rails. And I will say, and by the way, that John Kennedy is a relation.
Is he a relation? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I looked up just out of curiosity. But one thing I found kind of funny is that, and you actually see this a lot when it comes to these kind of conspiracies, that the James Webb Telescope is supposed to be the first kind of step into really looking at alien worlds and starting going into disclosure. You backtrack 10 days before the Kennedy assassination. Kennedy actually put out a memo Kennedy was trying to encourage the U.S. and Russia to come together, pool their resources to find out exactly what the hell was going on with these UFOs.
Yeah.
There's a memo from 10 days before his assassination where James Webb just happened to be the main scientist he was pointing to. Now, fast forward today, everybody's freaking out about Senator John Kennedy saying at the end of the statement, "Lock your doors tonight." As if a locked door is going to help you if alien ships are starting to fall.
This is the thing that I've told loads of folk. With the UFOs, and I'm just going to mention this once. I'm not going to mention the UFOs again tonight because it is about Majestic 12. You're an intergalactic species. You've travelled thousands and thousands and thousands of light years for your home world through radiation and asteroid belts and God knows what, right? You come to this world and then a Sidewinder missile takes you out. No, that's not going to happen. What they're shooting down is not alien spacecraft. It's a diversion. It's a tactic. They're trying to do something. They're trying to make you think that there's a fake alien invasion, right? That's all I'm going to say about that now, because we'll need to show on that. There you go.
The subject of Majestic will obviously be one that will take multiple episodes to really dive into. But going back to what we were saying, because we're almost already at the usual halfway marker and we BS'd our way through. Right. No, just say this. Majestic 12, a lot of the documents that brought this subject into the limelight, the people involved have admitted to being involved in disinformation campaigns. Here's the thing. Like I said, Mark Twain once said, fiction has to make sense. Truth doesn't. And all the best con jobs, all the best lies, start out with truth.
Here's a question I've got for you, Dakota. Who do you think run Majestic 12? Do you think it was the Greys to start with? Do you think it was the done deals for technology and stuff like that, and now because they've been kind of chased off this planet kind of thing, they're kind of running out of power? Who do you think actually run Majestic 12 now?
Majestic was started up by Harry S. Truman as part of a CIA operation, but that situation has officially gone rogue. The official explanation for the foundation of the Majestic 12 program was to basically have a team put together to research UFO phenomena and determine whether or not these craft were actually a threat. However, the story goes is that they've gone rogue.
Right.
Truman tried to take back control, even threatening to send military into action to basically take over the Area 51 base, where a lot of Majestic 12's operations were actually involved with. Shortly after that took place, it is said that Majestic actually implemented directives for essentially, and one of the most convenient ones was the assassination of political figures that threatened them. Now, for today, with the situation where a lot of the malevolent forces have officially been kicked out, but however, there's unfortunately too many people who may have good intentions, but are trying to invite the fuckers back.
It's technology, innit? The Greys or whoever they are, whoever the bad aliens are, they'll basically be like, oh, we'll give you this type of technology and you can control your little sheepy maze with it.
Basically, no, don't necessarily believe them. Yes, there are beings out there who fit under the gray genome that are on our side, but the majority of them don't actually get involved when it comes to abductions.
You'll find that I was talking to an abductee the other night. There's some a friend that I've got, and he's been abducted multiple times, and is it the insectoids you call them? Is it the mantis?
That's one of them.
Yeah, he's had really bad encounters with them. And I know there's different species. I know some of them are actually okay, but some of them are.
You gotta realize it's not a species thing. There's individual members that broke off from the civilization. That's a whole nother spiel.
Yeah. I mean, do you think there's anybody in charge right now that we see on TV and in government all the time that's maybe in charge of Majestic? Well, obviously it's no called that anymore, but you came up talking about.
Well, that's the interesting part, is that when you go into Majestic research, they may say that the label Majestic 12 is bogus. But if you actually look into it, interestingly enough, from the real documents, quotes around that, conveniently all the same fucking names come up. So once again, is this a situation where there is some truth that there is a group out there that has done all these things, gotten involved and created their own secret space programs outside of government regulation? They created their own system that is above the president. Did you know when it comes to, and this is for the audience as well, did you know that when it comes to top secret information, there's at least 12 levels above the president?
Yes. And
12.
Did you know that these people have actually got their own Air Force, their own Navy, their own Army? Did you know that?
They slowly, the way that their structures come in, they have a civilian aspect of it and they have a military aspect of it. They go to all these different branches around the world, look for basically the best of the best of the best, quote Men in Black.
Yeah.
And go to recruit them. And the reason why, you also got to realize, when it comes to these types of programs, the main security protocol is that if you join us, you no longer exist.
Yeah. Do you think that the Men in Black have got something to do with Majestic?
Men in Black are tied to it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? The Men in Black, that's another topic in it itself.
Oh,
but,
good God.
Elena's book, she labels them as draconian cyborgs, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, because they don't have any features, some of them.
No, they're genetically modified, and they're also robots that that can actually be affected by common household microwave ovens.
Well, they
No, that's true. No, that's
Clean
true. That's true. There's been several accounts where Men in Black have showed up where they started getting nervous around a microwave.
So if you're ever getting chased by the Men in Black, you just need to get into like a motorway service station and microwave a burger.
Exactly.
Oh my god. I mean, I just feel that these people that have been responsive for a lot of people that have disappeared and died.
Well,
Right.
let's step over to you're talking about the gray treaties offering up technology. Let's jump to Eisenhower. That's one of
Okay,
the
so-
big ones as
alright.
well. Eisenhower. Everybody associates saying that Eisenhower is the one that made the pact that allowed the Greys to abduct humans for test subjects. Here's the thing: a lot of the stories that line up with that just don't make sense. Now, one of the things that gets tossed around is that the Greys, because they get involved in cloning, their DNA has become degraded so much that they lost essential components and their DNA strength have actually become unstable. So
Yeah.
what they need, and you see this a lot in abduction movies, is that they need genetic samples in order to reintroduce sexual organs. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You would only need to abduct a man and a woman to get everything you need.
See,
If that was the case.
right, this is I've got a kind of problem with this, right? They're abducting humans, right? Why no abduct the other life forms in this universe? Because there's meant to be millions. Or is it because the other life forms are protected by, say, a galactic alliance and they're highly sophisticated? Even if they attempt that, they'll probably be blown up.
There
Up into
is. This is a whole subject. There is allegedly political systems when you get into outer space. Yes.
Right.
There are worlds out there that are lesser evolved than what we are here on Earth, and they face very similar situations. One of the explanations as to why we have the abductions, why we have the cattle mutilations, why we have so much here, is because a lot of the main worlds that are occupied by very human-looking species originated out of the Orion Zone, Lyra to Vega, around that area. However, that became an absolute war zone because of the Draconians and the Greys. The Earth, because of its position on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy, is farther than a lot of these planets are. So, one of the things that gets tossed around is that we are essentially a nature reserve.
Yep.
Or a prison planet in some cases.
I think we're a bit of both, to be purely honest with you.
I've heard both being used too.
I mean, I do find interesting fact, and again, this is kind of getting off the subject a wee bit, but the cattle mutilations, I find it interesting why they only take specific organs. They only ever take specific organs like eyeballs and the day it was so things are cut to precision, like they cut it and burn it at the same time so it doesn't let it bleed, which is quite interesting. And it's all usually a lot of female organs for a lot of cows, cattle. Yeah. Now, either that's what they like eating, or they're using it for something. You know, you playing any tones or any protection tones or anything like that?
I'm hearing them.
I was going to ask if you were playing any protection stones. That's all, because sometimes when I've noticed you do that now and again. But I don't know what it is, but I'm getting kind of electrical pulses in my teeth. It's weird.
You too, huh?
It's in my teeth right along here. I've had it for years. It's called transgeminal analgia. For fuck's sake, I can't pronounce it. But I've had it for years, but it's been away for the last 2 years because I was on medication and stuff. But see, today, and the new, I've got like electric shocks going up and down my teeth. It's weird. And it was never this side, it was always this side.
When it comes to the cattle mutilations, like I said, the U.S. government felt the need to have some sort of system in place in order to appropriately monitor the extraterrestrial activity on planet Earth. Because, let's face it, the United States has the biggest defense budget out of all countries. I mean, we have more of a defense budget than 26 countries below us combined.
Yeah.
They felt threatened. We're going back to Eisenhower. It is alleged that Majestic 12 overtook the abduction, the agreements, and allowed for a lot of what's been happening to this day.
It's not just that. Majestic 12, they were into a lot of weird scientific experiments too.
They also are believed to have been Nazi sympathizers and utilized information collected from Project Paperclip.
Yes. I was waiting for you to bring that up because I read that last night.
From the Thule Society, for real, they were into a lot of it, and they used a lot of this to build the foundations for several secret space programs, including Solar Warn, the Dark Fleet, Interplanetary. They've built so much because they've had no restrictions. And they were not afraid to trade whatever they needed to in order to achieve their goals, including human life.
Yeah. Makes you wonder how many people they've killed to cover things up or keep things safe. I mean, this is the age... this is the age of the internet. Okay? I mean, it's getting shared. Everything's getting shared now. So eventually they are going to get found out completely. Let's face it. It's quite weird as I say that. I get that pain. It's kind of weird, this, because it's quite strange, because I think I can hear that tone building. They don't want us talking about this. They're really annoyed that they're talking about this right now. I can feel it. It's so weird, guys. And I will say this to anybody that's watching this when it's played, if you experience anything, write it in the chat or leave a comment below the video. It's weird. It's like a static kind of... It's got that kind of... It's weird. I'm telling you, we're not the only ones here right now. It's amazing how they can watch us without manipulating the numbers, isn't it? How they've tapped into everything. You know? But I wonder if the person watching us, is that through Twitch?
You can just hover your mouse over the little eyeball and it'll tell you. And yeah, it's Twitch.
I didn't know that. If that's Twitch, if you experience anything, could you write in the chat, please? Because I don't know what it is. There's just something, I can hear it with my headphones on. It's as if there's an electric. Oh, see what I mean? I can't pronounce things tonight. I feel like I'm totally off. And Dakota, how's your back? Out of curiosity.
It's reacting to it.
Yeah. You see, guys, this is what you have to be very careful with Majestic 12. You just need to look at Kennedy. Okay, I mean?
Well, here's the thing. Because it is the age of the information age and everybody's got some sort of camera on them, it's become a lot harder for them to suppress the information. That is one thing that is playing into our favor when it comes to disclosure movements. But when it comes to their trade agreements, like I said, a majority of the negative influences have been kicked off world, and that we're slowly in a transition phase. You have to also think, how many people go missing every year?
Oh my God.
How many people, because they've shown no restraints, no moral code in how they treated these people, how many of them were purposely forced into breeding more stock?
Mm-hmm. How many people has Majestic 12 get rid of because they've managed to invent technology that could save the human race?
How many people were completely taken out? I mean, think about it. We had this movement to try to get everybody to electric cars going on right now.
Oh God!
Even though the idiot, You also got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you try to corner government officials into trying to release this information, the very government officials that you're trying to bark up the tree, they're just as confused as we are. Because of their positions, they maybe hear a lot more rumors about what's going on. They may have a better tap in, but as far as power-wise, they're just as powerless as the rest of us. They're puppets compared in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
When
it's weird, isn't it? I'm getting affected too. There's something going on, and it's as if they're doing something. It's as if there's a weird frequency that it's just.
there's
It's as if they've turned it on, so is it? I can feel it's like a pulsating.
Okay, Chris, I will say this. One thing I was trying to bring up.
I need to mute my mic for a second.
Elena, I will jump to a couple things. Elena actually directed me to Tony Rodriguez, who was involved in the secret space programs as part of a 20-year deployment. He mentioned that there are several little quirks for individuals who have been affected with these types of programs, like stuttering, sudden forgetfulness, symptoms that we would draw similarities to ADHD. Apparently chronic masturbation is a part of that, and no, I'm not joking.
Is that why you've got a sore back?
No, that's actually supposed to help because it releases a natural pain chemical, by the way. No.
Oh, dear Jesus.
And also with
when
it comes to these implants, stuttering becomes a part of it because your system is being overloaded. And the night we had those UFO outages, there was a shooting at Michigan State University that
I seen that
conveniently happened right about the same time it got to the worst of it. But on my drive to work, I actually saw a craft flying around some of the cell phone towers.
See, maybe they're manipulating the cell phone towers, and I'm not going to say the word. Maybe they're putting it like a frequency. Right?
Just by where it was sitting from. I mean, I could tell roughly how big this craft was because of how close it was to the cell phone tower.
How big would you say it was? The size of a bus?
Of a small bus, yeah.
See, maybe the frequency makes
just from where they were sitting from, it would have caused some sort of interference.
See, maybe the frequency makes you want to become violent. Imagine if they turned them on everywhere.
You're kind of going into Stephen King territory.
Oh, I put
Cell. Yeah.
Oh, Cell.
Yeah, I've read the book. I've seen the movie and read the book. But that is actually real. The human brain can actually be hijacked. And it is believed that Majestic fully realized this, utilizing information collected from projects like Project Stargate. There's declassified documents that talk about how to do astral project.
Yeah. I'm actually on one of them. The new it's Majestic 12. It's a blog all about. I don't know how I came onto this. It's so weird.
And you also got to consider. There's also a writer, I believe it was Robert S. Wood.
Yeah.
Who died under mysterious circumstances after Bill Clinton, announced him to be one of the most dangerous radio show hosts in America.
But we also know that Bill Clinton's one of the most dangerous people in the world.
Just the Clinton administration, at all.
God.
I mean, that's also another thing, but that's kind of going into the Jeffrey Epstein thing, where a lot of the balloon stuff is also happening right at the same time that client list is supposed to come out.
It's taking a look. It's taking your eye off of these things. I mean, it's not just that. I mean, what's happened in America now with that train, that toxic chemicals is unbelievably bad. I mean, it's really, really bad. And it's hardly on the news. Do you know what I learnt for that off my phone? It's not been on any of the TV networks out here in Britain. Nothing about it.
You want to know? There's a lot of people coming forward with that train crash saying that they are being asked to sign waivers that they will not sue the environmental agency is monitoring the situation over there.
But they've been
Why would
arresting. They've also been arresting reporters.
exactly? They're trying to say, "Oh, that area is safe to go back to." Yeah,
It's no.
toss a chunk of ice into a local pond.
Yeah.
You're just expecting a splash, right?
I
No,
know they call
the
it.
ice is boiling. That shit is boiling on contact with the ice.
Did you see
That's
the?
not supposed to happen, especially in Ohio this time of year.
Yeah. And did you see the? Did you see the women's that all her chickens were dead, including their dog and cats?
And the whole reason for the egg shortage is the fact that they've changed something in chicken feed
And the
and
food. I seen that.
yeah, they're having to give the chickens like goat feed and shit in order to start getting eggs again.
I think, and this is I'm going to say this. I'm going to make a prediction for this year. I think these balloons, that train wreck, and other kind of scenarios that's happening with the banks, like the digital currency and stuff like that. I think all of this it's all tied in. It's all there for one reason and one reason only. Something is going to happen this year that's going to change everything forever. I'm telling you. And a Majestic 12 are probably behind it.
Majestic 12 was one of the main driving forces behind a lot of shady shit going on. But here's the thing. It's kind of going into a philosophical debate, but you got to realize the universe itself always strives for balance. Has to keep good and evil in check.
I know.
No,
Do you think...
Hear me out.
No, okay.
We've reached a point where a lot of technologies that are believed to be speculated to come from secret societies and all this, the internet, social media itself, have reached such a point of information sharing that instead of being able to control the information flow, the dark side got lazy. So we're starting to see this shift. Whenever this shift happens, we get chaos until it settles. Every storm is not a cause of chaos. It is the measure in which nature is trying to correct chaos, rather.
Here's a question for you and for anybody that's listening. Do you think there's any good agencies out there now, that maybe it's secret agencies out there that are trying to stop these people?
There are. And right now we're winning. That's my understanding.
Yeah. Because I know that Trump, I've got to mention his name, Trump did set up kind of these agencies to deal with this kind of situation. And they're still active. I know that.
Trump was well aware of these situations coming forward, and he was trying to push to help them get the powers they need in order to go around and get the bad guys. And we were seeing a lot of those movements happen. Conveniently, when Biden took into office, a lot of these agencies were also restricted.
Yeah.
Axed, if not completely restricted altogether. I mean, look at the fact that Hunter Biden there's photos proving that Hunter Biden screws around with his underage cousin.
Yeah, I know.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're on Rumble just in case YouTube just tries to be nice and take this down.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way the world's going, honestly, I think the world's, I don't know where it's heading, but I think there's going to be a storm, like you said, but then the storm's going to cause a disaster.
Every storm is nature's correction force.
Yeah. So, whatever happens, you know, but hopefully, I can hear that tone. That's so weird. That it's not a tone. It's like a, how can I say this? It's kind of like it's like static. I think they're watching us, to be honest with you. I really do think they're watching us. And if there's any of our friends that follow us or watch us that are mediums or any that are sensitive to these kind of things that feel anything, please leave in the chat below. You know?
Something is definitely monitoring.
Or something's definitely monitoring us. In
Like
case we come
I
out with
said
some,
before.
you know.
Like I said before, we don't have to come out with anything. Everything's already out. And if not, people that have a lot better resources than us will be coming out with it very shortly. The reason why we're going to see so much chaos is that the ones that have tried to restrict us for so long have lost power and they are freaking out.
Yeah.
And you will see lies, you will see deception, you will see your own family turn against you.
Yeah, I mean that's why a lot of these things are happening now, like especially in the United States with the train derailments and other things, these toxic plumes and that. It's not really to turn a blind eye. It's because they are losing power, and I think they're trying to create chaos. Honestly, that's what they're doing. They're trying to create chaos. And I can tell you something now. I don't think there'll be nuclear weapons will be used because I don't think it'll be allowed to be used. I don't know why I wanted to say that. That was weird. That. Go on.
The nuclear devices will not be implemented. The keys have been handed over, and there's a slow transition in place.
Quite weird tonight. I don't know. It's just one of these weird nights. Hopefully, tomorrow night should be better. I mean, it's. I know when we get into these kind of subjects, it's dark and deep, and we should really get an expert on one night to talk about this. Because can you imagine what would happen if we got an expert on?
Something keeps telling them not to.
Yeah.
Think about it. You tried contacting David Icke. Shortly after that, he has to cancel it. He is deemed a level 3 domestic terrorist threat in the United Kingdom.
Oh yeah, everybody's a domestic terrorist threat now if you don't agree to the system.
Several of the political movements we know have been hijacked by deep cover operatives in order to instill this chaos that we're seeing today.
Yeah.
Whatever you people think you're doing, you don't realize how easily you have been manipulated and how much you manipulate yourselves to fall into those hands.
Mm-hmm. So Dakota, on a happy note, how is your back feeling? I heard that there too. I think it's your cat, is it no?
Well, yeah, you can see the little fucking paws.
I know I couldn't see the paws, I could just hear it.
I know. No, her paws are sticking out all the way through the door practically.
On a happy note, what's on Sunday?
Tomorrow, and yes, well, tomorrow for us because we'll actually put it out on the main channel. But we have the guys from Iron City Paranormal coming back to shoot the shit, talk about some of their latest investigations, and scare the crap out of their new guy.
And they've got a new guy too.
Yeah, they got a new guy that just recently joined them. I think his name was Jack Jim.
Jack Jim.
I think it was something along those lines. It's in
Jack
my Twitter.
Jim. Jimmy, is you sure it's no Jim Jack?
Something like that.
Ah, well, same thing, Bruno, but you just need, you know. So, wait, do you have any company news or anything you want to tell everybody?
Well, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. You can just check out the links in the description below in order to look at some of the merch. You know, my head is weird. There's all sorts of weird ideas that come forward when it comes to new merch ideas, and Chris is cringed at some of them.
Well, I like is it the G-Spot one? That's quite a good one.
I was like, here, there's a couple links. You can we have two. Yes, we have two different stores because it offers different options. So here's actually a few designs for people that might be interested in. And Chris, I think you'll get a kick out of some of these.
Oh, good God! What's he done now? It's not a poltergeist. I have a cat, and that's actually really good. That I like that. Actually, is that your cat? Is that your cat?
No, it's just a picture I found. When you go through Printify, they give you the option to use Shutterstock images.
Yeah,
for free, and you just pay like a small fee when you actually sell. So I got one as close to the psycho cat that was just knocking on my door a minute ago.
To get you.
Let's see. Here's another one. I can find any G-spot courtesy of Ghost Squad Scotland.
There you go. I think that's a great T-shirt. I think everybody, all 2,300 subscribers, should go out there and buy that right away. You know.
When we have kind of a philosophical one here. Ghosts show we are afraid of being forgotten. Aliens show we tremble at what may come. Monsters keep us shaking into submission.
Very good.
It kind of goes into deep psychological stuff here.
Yeah.
Here's another one. It says, I could tell you, but I'd have to abduct you. It has a picture of a gray-looking thing on it.
Can I hear a question about MG12? Has MG12 been patented, the name? Because we could bring out a T-shirt that says... We could bring out a T-shirt with MG12.
Or you can end up looking like the chalk outline here.
The
reason I'm funny. Murder is still illegal.
We're only kidding, MG12. We're only kidding, MG12. It's fine. It's fine. You can turn off your psyops now to stop us annoying. We're not going to talk about you anymore.
I don't know. We might have to dig into this topic a little further because we kind of jumped around a little bit. But then again, and that also involves getting this guy to focus.
I can't focus tonight for some weird reason. That has never done that before. Kicked me out like that. It did
that one was weird.
It did it once about 2 years ago when I was doing a live in my old channel, and I was talking about the same thing. It kicked me out. It did. That's before Bald and Bonkers, before I met you. If you go back through them there, it's there somewhere. And it kicks me out.
Huh.
So
that's weird.
Aye, it's definitely, you know, I think we should bring it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for a new co-host. You have to be at least 21, young, beautiful, and blonde. So there you go.
That describes your niece, man. That's awfully creepy.
No, she's not blonde. She's black.
She's not blonde? Oh, she dyed it?
Oh, she's dying a different colour.
Oh, she's one of those.
Or a redhead, then. I'll go for a redhead. What do you think?
You're replacing me with Andrina?
I could think of loads of people I could replace you with. I would never replace you, Dakota.
Well,
and we never done our special thing. We never done. If you have any complaints, please message Bald and Bonkers at the above address.
Actually, that is something else I was going to bring up. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I love complaints.
So that people don't fuck up the guest form and block out spots just because they're wanting to get a hold of us. We've set out a different spot on the website where you can just reach out, just send us a message.
Have
but you got a question?
Messages? Yeah, Danny Strange messages this week, Femda.
Actually, I've been needing to talk to you because there was one that mentioned some very disturbing things about you.
Really? What was that?
That they were threatening to expose you by putting pictures of you in bra and panties all over the internet if you did not send Bald and Bonkers $20,000.
Really? I've not got $20,000. I've only got $5 million sitting next to me. Wait, I just move all my gold out the way and stuff like that, you know? Here, ladies and gentlemen, if you make a donation of $5,000 to Bald and Bonkers, Dakota here will go bungee jumping in a mankini.
They wouldn't let me because I'm too big.
Look, we can get a couple of the stretchy stuff they used in the Apollo 11 parachutes. You'll be fine.
Actually,
I
got to thinking. We had a request.
Really?
Come in.
For you to do that? For a
No. This involves both of us. We had a request.
Who requested
it? It was someone that came on from the Elena interview, the last one.
Hello.
That we should come on the show one day, both dressed up as Uncle Fester.
Depends who this person was. Were they good looking?
I don't know. They didn't have a picture on the profile, so probably
terrible.
not.
That's terrible. I'm doing it.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I
don't know. I don't know. I think we could probably put together some sort of charity thing for it. It's like if we hit a certain amount of dollars, we'll both come on as Uncle Fester.
You know, I think Dakota needs to do something for the company. What could we do? Right, you can't do parachuting because we need parachutes. We can't do bungee jumping, ladies and gentlemen. What could we do? We could do, what about a camping trip to Mount Shasta? We can get the people to pay for it, you know. I think that'd be great. What do you think?
Well, if we can organize something to help bring in the bucks so we can do the Mount Shasta investigation for the documentary, that would be awesome. That honestly... I don't know. There's probably some people like, why are you so obsessed with Mount Shasta? It's like, well, if you look it up, it's one of the most active UFO hotspots. And I've always wondered what would happen if you drop someone off with a well-known history of UFOs. And
who are we talking about? Drop them off here? What?
Well, I was gonna go.
Yeah, that'd be fine. If you want, I'll come too, and I'll stay at base camp. You know, looking after the cakes and tea. And
no. We still need to fulfill the Dracula's castle sacrifice.
See, that's what. Who was that wanted me to be sacrificed? Who was that? Was that Lisa?
I don't know. That was someone that came up. The one. Hey, that was when you and Lisa were on.
You know, I must admit that was an awfully good show we had a couple of weeks ago with Elena. I still kind of get out of the fact is before we went live, she couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, the new! I'm doing this for she watches guys. She watches Elena and then she watches
she does try to catch up and watch us every now and then.
So I'm going to do this to new for her. Hey, the new Elena! Hey, the new!
And I will say this, she was not joking when she said that she was crying. She was crying for she laughing so hard.
Huh? It must be really strange for the aliens when they land in Scotland and they meet a guy with his kilt on marching out of the hill.
You know,
the big door opens.
Which is weird because Thor Hahn in that group, they actually have kind of a Gaelic accent to him.
Hey,
I'm serious.
The alien spaceship.
So speaking of which, I have to reanalyze it.
Aliens and kilts?
No. Oh, maybe. No, in my luck. So, remember a while back, I mentioned that I tried a little experiment to see if I could catch anything about our friends when they come visit me. I did it again last night, and I haven't had a chance to really go through it. But there may have been a clip where I was talking about Majestic 12.
Let's see.
And if that's the case, I will make sure to grab that recording, clean it up, and we'll have another episode about it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow night. Well, not tomorrow night, but the night after that tomorrow night, because we'll not actually be here because this will be next week, and doesn't really matter. So
well, you don't.
We'll see you again.
Well, just say see you next time. That's all you have to say. No need to. No need to become too much of a bubbling idiot.
Okay, there, Jimmy.
Oh,
well,
tomorrow with the guy.
Everybody thinks they walk about like that all the time and say things like that. I had an American one day come up to me and says, "Did you know my uncle? He stays in Scotland." I mean, there's only like, what, 40 million people staying here. How you gonna
40 million. That seems awfully.
60 million in the UK, 62 million in the UK. I think it's about 7 million population in Scotland.
Aye. Let's see. No, he's got me doing it. God damn it.
Then what?
I've noticed that because we started doing the show so much and we BS too much, I've started picking up on Scottish slang.
What did you do?
I started talking like you a couple of times.
This day for his
no, it's and you know, no, I'm just talking about. There's been points where I'm in a conversation and someone asks me a question, I go, "Hey," I'm like, "Wait, what?" Now I'm starting to get a lot of Scottish recommendations on TikTok. Ironically,
somebody's watching things that they shouldn't be. Terrible.
I'm not Lex. Well, I'm just kidding.
That's all right. Brian's into the other kind of things, isn't he, Brian? I'm sorry.
Some days I wonder. And with that, we're gone.